So today we've got Potterton performa 28. We've got a leak, that's what we've been called out for, a leak. We've got a leak from the differential valve head there. We're just checking the boiler over as well, make sure there's not any further faults. That's a common for splitting. Just talking to myself.
Oh, you're talking to yourself?
Yeah. So we've also got the low pressure on this boiler, so we're just going to recharge the expansion vessel, check that's okay, the PRV's okay before we start ordering a new diaphragm for the differential head. It's important just to check there's not any further faults on the boiler anywhere. So you'll have to top that back up again as the water displaces out of the expansion vessel. But when you've disconnected it, some leak detection fluid on the Schrader valve, just to make sure that's not passing air out. Differential head removed. It's important to make sure that spindle's not leaking and it's free moving. Take all these screws apart now, separate the valve and replace the diaphragm. So the valve in bits, see that spring comes off there, that little spindle, don't lose that. Piece pulls out, which will leave your diaphragm. And the problem we've got will be another little O-ring in there. There's probably a little bit of scale on the spindles causing it to wear on the washer, so we'll clean that up. There you go, a bit of scale. We'll clean that up with a bit of wire wool before we put it back in. That's the same thing going to happen again. So give the differential valve a bit of clean on the inside. We're just going to add a bit of silicone grease around the edges, refit the diaphragm, slide that back in. We'll clean both spindles up as well. Make sure there's no blockages or scurf blocking those little orifices. Get in there, give them a good clean. If we go back to the front of the differential valve, remove the 14mm nut and washer from the front and replace it with the new one that is supplied. Go to the back of the differential valve, there's a 10mm nut that's to be removed. Inside you can see there's a little O-ring there. And just get that out. There we go. Replace that with the other one that's supplied. Make sure that fits in properly, else you end up with another leak. And grease that O-ring as well once it's in. The two parts of the differential valve, it's all cleaned, new O-rings, new diaphragm. I'm going to piece this back together, screw it back together and refit it. Differential valve's now in, there's no leaks anywhere, it's all tightened back up. Just going to run the hot tap. As you can see, spindle comes out. No drips anywhere. So we'll bolt the micro switch back on and we should be back in business. There we go. Micro switch is working. There we go. Hot water. Just carrying out the final checks on the boiler. Very good seal inside or out.